welcome. Today I want to talk to you about some of my materials I have for my mixed media work, because I am slowly starting to figuring out what I actually like, what style, what technique, and it came up to the point where I like loads of things, loads of texture, loads of different mediums, and mixed media seems to be the very good technique for me to achieve that. So luckily I already own a lot of materials, so I had to just add a few things to my list, and I recently bought a few things I wanted to share with you. I have started watching Lena Moss, amazing artist. She's a fellow Polish artist, you can say that, and she has such a beautiful style. I actually joined her Patreon and found out what I can use in terms of materials and techniques, so highly recommend watching her on Instagram and her Patreon, really good. And let's have a look what we have. So this is the collection I have been hoarding, I don't know if that's the right word, completing for last few years, and last few items I bought recently after watching Len's videos as well. So let me start with kind of what base I would do. So I have these paints for quite a few years now. If I can open that, oh, there we go. And I have modified them over the time. Let me just see if I can see the whole thing in the shop. Wonderful. So mainly they are as they are here in this set. However, I have added few. So they all have names here, and they have swatches, because look, for example, that gamboge is looking very brown here, and it gives you very yellow color here. But I noticed that I'm kind of drawn more into the warmer colors, and I love these earthy ones, fabulous. So this is the palette I initially started using, and I loved it. And then over time I treated myself into Schminke, and this is the lovely palette from Schminke. Let me show you that one. And also I did a swatch, so you can see these are slightly different. They are gorgeous. Especially that indigo is so beautiful. So they complement each other really well. I find that Schminke one is a little bit more earthy, what I love. Olive green, burnt umber, you know, you got similar here, but it's just amazing. And I added a few additional here. You can see that one's not very good. The from Daniel Smith, the antique gold is absolutely waste. It doesn't look like gold when you put it on, but I'll leave it there. So again, I did add a few. I had to glue them all actually, because they wouldn't fit perfectly, especially those on the bottom, because every time I open the box they'll fly out. But I love having both. I love kind of switch and swapping them. I usually, when I paint, just use one of them, because I don't have that much space in my desk. So this is the base I use, and I know Lena uses gouache. However, gouache I still need to practice, and I'm not that confident with gouache. I do have gouache as well. These are the palettes. What else have we got here? And this is just the fraction of things I have. I love this paper. It's a watercolor paper, smooth, from Art. It is really decent price, and I love how you can actually do your watercolor. You can take quite a lot of watercolor, and then you can go with a pencil. The texture is somewhere between very smooth and obviously hot press, so it is lovely texture, not too much of either. And this is generous 50 sheets A4, and they are going for a pretty good price, so highly recommend these. Next on our list, I'm just coming what I have by my side of my hand. Carandache Museum Aquarelle. So these are actually watercolor pencils, and if you use them, you can add water or you can use them dry, just like a normal pencil. Some colors are a little bit too bright, I prefer more earthy, I think. But it's a good starter set. Like this one, for example, was a bit too acidy for me. It's too yellow, something like that. I much prefer kind of this type of yellow, you know, like mustard yellow. But never mind, it is coming useful when you mix something as well. So these are lovely. They are having such a nice texture. So when I use it, the butter, you see, very vivid, very pigmented. There we go. And then if you add water, that can give you really lovely effect, and you can mix them up. So lovely pencils. I don't think they were super expensive as well in this 20 set. So very nice for mixed media. I only ordered that one, so I have to admit I haven't tried this one yet. I ordered 2 blocks, very brave. Canson, but I used that company before. And this is kind of more yellow tinge. I do like that for mixed media for landscapes, and the size I will be using is half of it, so A5 rather than A4. A4 is a bit too big for me. I much prefer working in smaller formats for that. So brilliant, because this one has 30 pages. Obviously if I halve it, so I'm gonna end up with 60 little pictures. No excuse, I just need to get there and paint. So that's a good one. Oh, I really love this brand, Clairefontaine, for paper. And I used a different one. I used one that is a bit more like a brown craft paper shade, and it's lovely. So this is more of a white. I wanted to have different options and test the water with different papers, but I knew I'm not going to be disappointed. I need to do lots of work at the moment, lots of volume to experiment, to move forward. So I don't mind going through the paper, and this is lovely thickness, so it's going to take a lot of my materials. So this is already A5, not going to have that, but 40 pages, so that gives you a decent amount of paper sheets. Brilliant. And it wasn't too expensive. Sorry, I'm not telling you the price, but I don't know which point you're going to watch that video, so it might be pointless saying those prices. You can always Google the prices out. Now, this little sketchbook, that's the word I was looking for. I have ordered before from Talons this salmon pink, I don't know what you want to call that color, notebook, and there's nothing wrong with it. However, it has this lovely kind of a creamy, yellow creamy paper, which I love. However, I really discovered that I don't like to draw this way up, and I don't want to move my my sketchbook to the side. I want to have it that way. So much better. So I'm still going to fill this one up. No problem there. However, I ordered a second from the same company, and it has nice thick pages. So this is something I did recently, the fish, with my new materials. And I love it. And I love that kind of warm page. I'm not a fan of that snow white white, so if that makes sense. So I much prefer landscape. So you see, every time you learn something new, this, like I said, this is not going to be wasted. I will still fill it up. However, in the future I'll be choosing landscape orientation notebooks. And let's move. Oh, one more thing. I ordered a palette, and this is the size I absolutely love, because you have the wells to do your mixing and a little flat surfaces, and you can separate them, and this is the size I can finally comfortably work with. I did have the same palette, however I got it from my lovely aunt. However, the other one was all yellowed up, so if I was mixing, it didn't give me the true colors. It kind of needed this white, fresh, new. If it was grey, it was fine, but because it was kind of yellow, that's not good. So this is great. It wasn't expensive, I think very decent price, around £4 something. So not bad at all for your comfort. Ooh, what have we had? What do we have here? So this is my discovery. I did discover that a while ago, and from another mixed media artist. I love these, and I thought, they're like a wax crayons. There's nothing exciting about that. But seriously, when you put your layer of watercolor, when you put more layers, and you want to add a little pop of something, these are just magical. These are very pigmented. Look at that. How pigmented is that? Just give you like a pop. And they are so fun to use. They're really pleasant to use those. And then you can mix them a little bit, I suppose, with white. But what's fun about these are actually water soluble. I don't know how they did this magic, because they wax pastel, but for some reason they work out how you can mix it with water, which is absolutely amazing. So these are Carandache Neocolor 2 Aquarelle. So important thing, this is number 2, not number 1, because number 1 series version is not water soluble, and it's I prefer to be water soluble, so I can then experiment and maybe blend some bits if I need to. So this is the set, the little set, the smallest possible I got from Carandache. Of those crayons. And then I thought, actually it was Lena's video that gave me that inspiration to get different colors. So this is the color was given by manufacturer, you know, the thing they presumed and put together, and these are the colors I love. Let's see the difference. And I basically bought them individually. Look at that. Earthy, kind of light lit, what's the word? I know the word in Polish, but not in English. Muted, kind of not so bright and vivid. You see the difference is huge. So I'm still gonna use those, fine. However, this is my absolute heaven. And for this little guy, I waited extra almost week for my parcel to arrive. I was like, ah! So these ones I ordered from Pullinger's, the online shop, and they were very good. No problem with any delivery or anything. But the colors are so gorgeous, so earthy. Look at that. It's beautiful. I just cannot wait to create with those. These are okay, but more for like, not sure if I'm ever going to use this neon, what is it called? Yellow green. Well, I'm not going to throw it away, but you know, my preferred collection is here. It literally makes me so happy. So happy. And then what else did I order? I ordered those Inktense Derwent sticks. I heard about those. I've seen people using those giant sticks, and I thought maybe I'll try the little ones first to see what they like. And I ordered them individually, and they give you this beautiful texture like a chalk. You can use them side like that, or you can use with a sharp point, and these are giving such a beautiful texture. You can mix them, and what else you can do is that you can mix them with water. Let me show you. I have somewhere here those pens with water, so I don't have to run get water. And it's just magical, magical. How rich is that pigment? I'm just going to pick up a little bit. Look, so beautiful because it's got that little, not granulation, but it has those little particles, which gives extra texture. It's really lovely. So I used a little bit of that on that fish illustration I did here, and a little bit in plants, just to add a little interest, add a little something there. So that's Inktense little sticks. I think they call sticks. Great. I keep them together with these. The other thing I got is quite a few of those pens. So I already have my Posca white pen, which apparently is like a gold dust. It's not that easy to get. It's always sold out, and I was very impressed how opaque it is. So if you put it over something, it will actually be white, and it's quite fun applying it as well, like quite addictive. But it could, sometimes it can mix with other color. So just keep it clean. Oh no, okay, now it's clean again. So what did I get? I was always curious about those markers, and to be honest, I thought markers is such a horrible medium. Why would ever anyone would want to buy that? Yuck. And I really don't like the noise they create. So I'm gonna have to, when I paint, I need to wear my earphones. I know it's a bit over the top, but I just hate that scratchiness. Ugh. So it has this wide point. I love that colour, it's going to be really useful, and it has this tiny one for details. So what did I get? I get Misty Rose, which I thought will be really good for other areas. I got this slate colour, which is more for shadows, I think. I'm going to create more kind of, not quite black, but for darkest points. I thought it would be quite good for doing that. Olive green. Oh, who doesn't love olive? Is that the thin end? Yeah, I need to learn that's the thin end. That's the thick end. White thing. Oh, beautiful. So I wonder what they're going to look like when they dry out. The fun is that you can layer things over. For example, we have this orange Posca, slightly larger. So I have now 3 different sizes of Posca. The little white one, medium apricot, and large orange. So how you use that, at the beginning it doesn't come out, so you have to shake it. Tap, but look how opaque that is. I'm just drawing over that and the colour stays. It's just amazing, and that's what I love. You can create such amazing combinations. And that apricot, that was recommended by Lena. It's just so beautiful. You can create such a lovely designs with that. I cannot wait to actually get that in action. So these are my mini collection of Poscas. I'm sure I'm going to add more. The only thing is I hope they're not going to dry out too quickly over time. But I had that white one for a while, so fingers crossed it's going to stay and behave well. I also have this, I think I already showed that in a different video, but this Tombow kind of brush pen is lovely. I think it's waterproof. I can't remember. Water-based pigment pink. I think it's waterproof. So you press harder, you press lighter, and it creates that variation, and beautiful. It's just so lovely, that one. Not sure how much detail you can see from that far away. And I have my collection of pencils, color pencils. So these are polychromos, and these are lovely to use. Let me choose like a stronger color. You can see here, just a few colors. Again, I bought them individually. What else we have? So I always wanted to experiment with those inks, and in the past I thought, what would I use it for? Actually, I know now, because this is blue. I often, when I do sky, for example, I use so much paint, and I just wanted something a bit more you can play with, wet on wet maybe. So I have this one, which is apple green. And they are such a cute little packages, such a cute little things. This was my main one that I was so interested in. Peat brown. I ended up buying one each from each shop, but never mind. I'm sure I'm going to use it up. However, ink is not that easy to use up. It lasts for a long time. So this is peat brown. It's lovely. And here we have blue. It's blue. And what I bought, in addition to that, because I had to kind of fill up my order, I got from Cassard, I think I had a voucher, and to get free delivery you had to kind of spend, so I ended up spending double as much as I intended. Not the best logic, but yeah, it gave me an excuse to get a few more bits. So these are drawing and mapping nib sets, and to be honest, I thought some of them were going to be wider and it will give me wider, I don't know what it's called, line. How cute is this little box? And some of these you just stick it into those. You've got two different wooden bits, and this is one of the thinnest. There's one right here, and you just stick them in. I can't pull it out now. Ugh. So trust me, you just stick it in. And then the other one you also stick in. Let me just choose one. And I thought, oh, I could never use it because it's so irritating. You have to probably dip that in ink a million times a day to get something. But when I actually used it, no, it lasts, because the ink collects in that little nib and it stays there enough for you to use it for a little while. So let's have a go. I'm dipping it in, and then I'm going to use it. It's so very fine, this fine one, but I think I'm going to find a use for it. It will be fun to use that. Oh, I dipped it in, but I was going to show you how long it lasts. So this is the peat brown. And just keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. As the line is so fine and delicate, it will last for a while. Okay, so there's still loads there collected. Such a fine line. It's like my hair is thicker than that, and it looks great when you go over marker, for example. And it's extremely easy to use because all you need to do is just run it under clean water and then dry it, and that's all you need to do. Super easy to maintain. So let's see this thicker one, and I was hoping that will give me nice kind of wide calligraphy type of line, but it is also very thin. It's a little thicker, but it's still, when I press a bit harder, it creates a little wider line. Ooh, I don't want to break it. It's kind of moving. I would definitely be getting more nib sets or pens. I don't know what they're called exactly. They're really fun to use, definitely. And for the mixed media I do. But I would love to get more like my pilot one, sailor, sorry. It's a really thick line. Oh, it's out of ink at the moment, but it's very thick line if you want it to. Let's see that blue one. It took me ages to open it. It wouldn't open. Just a little bit. So it's got very Brilliant, great. Right, blue. A bit like ultramarine, I would say. But it's nice because you can mix it with any other color and create your blend. And green, have we already used that? I don't think so. Let's have a little look. Ah, it's not easy to open. Pop. And that is a bit like an apple green. I think it would be nice to give to vegetation and any kind of plants. I'm not sure how I'm going to use that super fine line, but I will definitely have a play. And I have to say it's super satisfying to use those nib pens. Very fun, very enjoyable. It's just enjoyable to use it. And you just pull it out. I did wipe it. That one's a little bit harder to take out. Not sure if I can do it right now. Oh no, I broke it. Maybe I'll just keep it in this because no other one will be going in there. Yeah. So all the other ones going into the big one. And it wasn't that expensive, this set. The only thing is for the wider ones I would probably prefer wider line. But how beautiful is that? I just can't wait to do more detailed stuff so I can turn them maybe into patterns, make something very beautiful, very detailed. Definitely fun thing to do. So I think these are all my things. I can't think of anything else that I did purchase recently or want to share with you in terms of mixed media stuff. Like I said, Lena has this lovely Instagram account. I will leave the link below, and I also recommend her Patreon. She does put lots of work into that. Very good. And I will be creating some more mixed media stuff in my little notepad and on my new paper. So watch this space. I will be adding things on. This is one of my latest creations. It's a little bit cartoony. I was hoping to go a bit more organic, realistic look, but I just can't get away from the cartoon look. It's a bit tricky. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know if you have tried any of those materials, if you're curious, if you have any questions at all. I would love to have a conversation with you on this channel, not just kind of telling you what I'm doing. Let me just see the apricot now, because this one dried. Oh look, and you can just have that on. It looks beautiful. Oh, I love it. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be my last Posca. I think it's just the start of a collection. So have a wonderful day wherever you are, whatever you're doing. Until next time.